Sponge. Now, we're going to get straight into this. First game, 9-6, you went down to Liquid. Were you worried because they are considered like the weaker team here?
Nah, like when we were 9-6 down, that's a pretty good T half anyway. And it could have gone, we could have won 9 T rounds. I just saw like we lost a couple of clutch rounds. We made a few mistakes and stuff. There was a lot of 1v2s with Fugly that we should have won. So I was confident with that half. I was a bit disappointed that we made those misplays, but then we showed up on the CT half and we really stomped them.
Now, we look at the second half and you guys 10-0, just flat out destroyed it. Absolutely crazy. Now, the NA scene, they're just struggling massively right now. Yet they've got all this money, they've got all this power. What's going on? Like, you guys are trashing them right now.
Well, as I was just packing up and leaving, then I could hear Thorin and Richard Lewis and Sir Scoots talking about it and how they should like be playing better and stuff. I think the fact of the matter is the NA scene is just they just have the wrong mix of players together, and they're just I don't know. They're expecting to be good. They seem rubbish. Let's be honest. Like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. And the problem I'm having right now, also when I was leaving, I heard Thorin saying like, oh, the Liquid were playing bad, Liquid this, Liquid that. How about we get some credit? You know, we've come over here all these times. We've beaten Dignitas, Flipside, 3D Max. We beat Fnatic. We just beat Liquid. We should have beaten them by so much more. It was our misplays, not them playing anything good. Yeah. And, you know, we're not getting any recognition. So, Thorin, what's going on, mate?
that we're going to have to take that with four indefinitely. But on that point of the NA scene right now, obviously they're considering, like, they're just not doing what they should do on paper. Do you reckon that there's any NA team that you'd struggle with, or do you think all of them are in that same situation? Because everyone puts Cloud9 on the pedestal for NA. Yeah,
Cloud9 definitely has the best roster at the moment. You can see like CLG are struggling. That new Lumosity team is probably going to be one of the better ones over there. But yeah, definitely Cloud9. They have probably the best roster, and I think we could go like toe to toe with them. They're a new team, and we had a new player as well. So I think our matchup versus them would be pretty good. I don't think you can look too much into their like results from this tournament because they are such a new team, and I think they'll definitely grow. They have Scadoodle, who's just a beast, so you're going to see good things out of them. Yeah. That's just going to take time. But then the rest of the NA scene, it just seems like they've all like it's just new players who don't have the experience, and they're not being taught how to play by the experienced players. It's just weird mixes of players. Yeah. So I don't know.
So, okay, you've won one Fnatic, you've now 2-0'd Liquid. Realistically, how confident are you guys going into the rest of this group? Because I feel like you guys have got a great chance.
Look, versus NIP, they're a team that can just steamroll. Like, they're a confidence-based team. And if they just decide, hey, Foxy, big noobs, we're going to trash you, we're going to be in a bit of trouble. Because when they get that style on, it's really hard to compete against. They hit shots that, like, some teams would choke on. If we can get them starting slow and we can do what we did to Fnatic, we get a good side, we are able to start a strong CT half, then sure, I think we could probably maybe take a map from them or have a close series. I'm going to be confident about it because we have shown a better form of play this tournament than we have in the past. But it's going to be hard. There's no sugarcoating it.
Okay, so my final question here as well. We're seeing your Australian teams come over now, doing pretty well. What's going on in the Australian scene? What's making this kind of assembly of all the players coming together and doing pretty well and having some successful teams now?
Well, like I think we've had a lot of players who have been like through Source and 1.6 who are always playing LAN events, and they've stuck around for a long time. So we have a lot of players who have played for a long period of time, just not at this level. And we've also got that fresh talent that are just those kids with the crazy aim. I think we have a good mix. I think just our biggest problem is where we live. You know, we could probably have, I think, maybe 3, maybe 4 good mixes of teams that could come over and compete at a relative level. Like, I'm not saying like a top tier level. Like, I'm saying like maybe like a tier 4 kind of level, but that's still in the scheme of the world. That's pretty decent. So I think we have like a good depth of players, and everybody wants the same thing. Everybody wants to be able to compete internationally. That's the dream for us. And I don't know, maybe this is going back to like the American thing. These guys are all on salaries and getting paid now. Yeah. Does that take away from their passion for the game? Because like from Australia, this isn't our full-time job. You know, this is secondary for us, and this is the thing we love so much. And I don't know, maybe that's why we're playing better than them.
Okay, that's actually going to have to lead me on to one more question. So you guys are this good right now, and you're just saying you've got full-time jobs as well. If the opportunity arose for you guys to say either come over to Europe or go to America and play full-time, be a salaried team, what level do you reckon you could compete on then? Do you reckon you could be the team on the area that could push it up and compete with the EUs like the NA keep saying they can do, but they're clearly failing?
I think if we came over here for a decent period of time, we'd be able to compete within like the top 20 level, and we would slowly be able to build up and ramp up. You've got these elite teams like Envy, Fnatic, NIP, all those kind of guys. They're amazing teams. You know, it's going to take us time to get to that level. What we do now versus those teams is a bit of shock and awe. It's something they're not used to, and once we take them off guard and push them onto the back foot, they don't know what to do. You saw yesterday Fnatic had to change caller after the first map because we frazzled them. You know, if we can do that to these other top teams, that's kind of our play. And the only way for us to be consistently as good as them is to practice here and be on their level, or just continue doing this, coming over sporadically, the shock and awe, and hope for the best.
Well, I wish you the best of luck for the rest of your groups. We're going to send it back to the desk right now, and I'm sure we're going to hear from Foreign about what he's got to say after that.
Thank you very much, guys. Great interview from Spunj. Like, the guy always speaks his mind. He did throw you a little bit under the bus in the sense of, you know, we've definitely beat on Liquid not playing well. And other than, you know, JKS, VOX not, you know, he's been saying, hey, again, credit where credit's due. Like, we could have actually beat them worse, you know.
I don't know if they would have beaten worse. I mean, I think that everything went right for the VOX guys in general. Liquid was bad. I don't know about that. I think Liquid could have done a bit better. I still think VOX would have won. Yeah. Now that I watched the game, I don't think like Liquid was going to actually win when I saw how it played out. So I'll give them credit in that sense. They were the better team. Looked like the better team overall, actually.